Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Milestone and my channel is all about finding your passion, fulfilling your potential and achieving your goals. We all want to become the best version of ourselves, but we're being held back by our bad habits. In this video, I'll explain how you can build good habits that stick forever so you can fulfill your potential and achieve all of your goals. More often than not, I start the year full of energy and motivation, but things get tricky when that fades, as it does naturally for us all. Good habits are not built overnight, and this is something that I learned the hard way after failing many times trying to change my habits, doing things like waking up early, reading books, going to the gym, and taking accountability for my actions, to name but a few. We all have good habits that we want to adopt, but most of our habits are done automatically without us even realizing it. We're in autopilot in cruise control. So whenever I've tried to adopt a new habit, I've always found it super difficult, even when my current habits are not really helping me in any way, and in some cases they're harming me. So I started doing a lot of reading and researching to try to find out what's the key to building good habits, and I'm going to share everything I learned in this video with you. Before I do, please subscribe and help my channel grow. The first thing I learned was small changes to our habits can make a big difference. So when I first started trying to change my habits, I went big, so making really big drastic changes to my daily habits, and what happened in the end was I crashed, burned and relapsed into my old ways really. So what I've learned is starting small and working your way up can drive real lasting change, and that's better because over the course of many years, one small change can make a huge difference. For example, one good habit I really wanted to adopt was waking up at 5 a.m. every day so I could be more productive, because that's the most focused time for me and when I get most of my stuff done. So I said, right, let me jump right into 5 a.m. Did not work at all for me. So what I've done now instead is progressively get to that target over a period of time. I used to wake up at 7 most days, so instead of 7, I started one week waking up at 6:45, the next week 6:30, week after that 6:15, until I eventually got to that 5 a.m. target. And now I've pretty much gotten used to it. I naturally kind of wake up at that time or thereabouts, even without the need for my alarm now, which is cool. But I built myself up slowly, hit those little small milestones along the way, and once I adapted, that's when I pushed further. So for me that works. So starting small can drive that lasting change. So hopefully now I can stick to it forever. I learned this tactic from reading the amazing book Atomic Habits, which explains that building many habits slowly over a long period of time can have real massive impact on how your life is and make a real difference to who you are and what you can achieve. So whatever good habits you want to build, start off by committing to the bare minimum. If you want to read books, start with 2 pages a day. If you want to start running, put on your running shoes every single day. If you want to learn more things by doing online courses, commit to spending 10 minutes a day doing an online course. And if you want to invest, start with £5-10 a month. So small changes that we can adopt can have a huge impact over a period of time. Key things here are persistence and consistency. So stick at it, keep going, and keep your end goal in mind. The other thing I learned were habits are automatic behaviors, and the more we understand this, the better chance we have of adopting good habits and getting rid of bad ones. Doing things like picking up your phone and looking through it when you get a notification or a message, that is an automatic behavior, a habit. Habits are made up of 3 parts. There's a cue, an action that we take, and a reward. So to bring those 3 parts to life, when we get a notification on our phone, that's a cue. We pick up our phones, that's the action to find out what's being said, and the reward is whatever we're being notified about, whether it's a message, a like on a post, someone commenting on something that we've done on social, that is the reward. Another example, coming home, it's dark, we turn the light switch on so we can see, be more safe, and feel relaxed in our homes. Those 3 things are key to making a habit an automatic behavior, something that we just do without even thinking about it. So now we understand how habits work and the psychology behind them. What can we do to make them stick? Well, now you want to make a plan of action. So when you're thinking about habits that you want to adopt, make a clear plan of action that has all those 3 key elements: a cue, an action, and a reward. According to that same book, Atomic Habits, this is a great way to adopt habits and make them stick forever. When thinking about how you kick off this chain reaction, how can you make that cue so easy, so obvious, so clear that you'll never miss it? My alarm goes off early in the morning. That's a clear cue for me to wake up and have a productive day. What else can you do to make the habits you want to adopt have very clear cues to kick off that entire chain reaction? One thing I did was change my environment and my surroundings to help making adopt my good habits as easy as possible. For example, I wanted to start my Arabic studies, so what I've done now is I leave my Arabic worksheets out on my dining table, so So I always see them, and that's my cue to start. Another really important thing here is building a really specific action plan for the habits that you want to adopt. So instead of saying, I will complete this online course, say, I will take 1 hour a day on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. to complete this online course. So be more specific, and this will help the habit stick. So now you know how to set up clear cues that will drive some actions. The next thing we need to think about is how we reward ourselves for staying on track. This is really key to helping us stick, because as humans, we are triggered by dopamine, the hormone that's released in our bodies that makes us feel happy and good and satisfied and smiley. So every habit that we create, we want to get that real strong dopamine hit from it. And what gives us that nice happy feeling? Well, think about the things that you like doing. Eating out, going out with friends, spending time with loved ones, playing sport, watching movies, whatever it might be, your passions. These are the things that give us that nice happy feeling. So what can we do to attach some of those happy, nice things to the habits that we want to adopt? This feeling really drives us to take action because we are rewarded for it. So the taste of that nice meal, banter with your friends, and the comfort and happiness of spending time with your loved ones. I've learned that if we can use this to our advantage when forming new habits, it makes a massive difference. So I learned about this technique called temptation bundling, and essentially what it is you think about a habit that you really want to adopt that's going to be super good for you, that's going to help you progress as a person and become that best version of yourself, and you link it to something that you just love that gives you that really strong dopamine hit. So for me, as I said earlier, I've been trying to wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and I really struggled with it. So what I do when I wake up at 5 a.m., I reward myself with a really nice breakfast, something I love, food, attaching it to something that I don't like, waking up early. Those two have come together beautifully. So similarly for yourself, think about those things that you really want to do, the habits you want to adopt and take on, and attach it to something that you love. So if you're struggling to read books, maybe you want to go to your favorite cafe, order your favorite hot drink so it becomes a much more enjoyable experience and you're rewarding yourself that way. If you want to save but you love shopping, maybe you could only shop when you hit your saving goal for the month as a reward. So this technique of temptation bundling has really worked for me. It does take some thinking because it's not always easy and straightforward. You've got to be really creative with how you link things that you want to adopt to things that you love doing, but it is really worthwhile, and honestly it will stick. I've definitely seen it, so I hope you guys can too. Another key thing I've learned is make your habit as easy to adopt as possible. We can do this by removing as much friction as possible from us achieving that habit. So if you think about our smartphones, so ping, we get a notification, we pick it up. It's a really simple, straightforward process. There's no friction in between it at all because we always have our phones on us. The clear cue is a sound or it vibrating. Unfortunately, this is not something that we really benefit from. So think about what can we do to make those good habits we want to adopt really, really easy and frictionless. What's stopping you from going to the gym, waking up early, investing, learning more, reading books, taking on all your passions? Think about where the friction lies and just remove that as best as you can. Another example from me, I'm really trying to eat healthily this year. Loved a bit of Deliveroo, loved a bit of Uber Eats. I've actually deleted the apps now. Those accounts are gone, and I just stock my house with sort of super healthy foods, no unhealthy food. So if I want to have an unhealthy meal, I've got to physically go out of my way to a restaurant and have it there, and that just reduces my chances of eating unhealthily by a massive margin. I'm actually thinking about making this a reward for myself, so going out once a month to have a massive cheat meal as a reward for staying on my target for the month. The final thing I picked up, which has a lot to do with human psychology, is make your habit immediately satisfying. This is not really how I used to think. I used to think really long term. What do I want to achieve? Where do I want to get to in a year, 2 years, lifelong? And that's what would really drive me. But when it comes to habits, thinking about how you can make them immediately satisfying can change a lot, and they're proven to be a much more effective way of making those habits stick. Plenty of studies have shown that our brains are hardwired to seek immediate satisfaction. That's why social media is so addictive. It shows us things that we love, that we like, that we laugh at. That's why we stay glued to it. Why are things we love never good for us? It's an unfortunate fact, however, that a lot of things that help us in our life have a really long lead time for seeing that reward. So if you do go gym, you're not going to feel yourself being fitter, stronger, healthier until a few weeks down the line. If you're trying to learn something new, like a language, that'll take you a while to learn before you see any real benefit of it. So when adopting a new habit, think about what is the immediate gratification that I can also attach to this as well. For example, if you're saving, think about what you're saving for. What will saving this month will mean to you, and how can you make it immediately satisfying? So those are some of the top tips I learned. Hopefully this video helped you. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment below and let me know what habits you're trying to pick up as well. And if you haven't already, subscribe because I've got lots more content to come. So thanks for watching, and let's keep chasing those goals.